part of our lives, but every year 18 million tonnes of it ends up in landfill, a lot of which comes from the retail sector. But one store, the Thorntons Budgens here in Crouch End, is trying to do something about that across the board. My name's Michelle Livings and I'm on a mission to find out how. So Andrew, you're the man behind all this. Where did the idea originally stem from?
Well, it all comes from our philosophy, which is that supermarkets should be in the heart of the community. One of the first things we did about 3 years ago was to tackle the amount of waste we put into landfill. And we got that down to 6%. There are people within, a mile or two of this store that don't have enough food. Okay? And I use the word criminal because it is criminal, the fact that we and other supermarkets throw out every day large quantities of food and there are people who are starving, right close by. It just doesn't make any sense. No. We started to work with, first of all, Noel's Kitchen in Wood Green, then Food Cycle, and then the Simon Community. With those three organisations have found a way to give away a lot of our food that would have been turned into electricity. The legislation doesn't help because once a product goes out of date, at a minute to midnight it's perfectly legal and safe, and at midnight it's not. So for example with our meat, what we do is we freeze it all before midnight, and then Food Cycle is only vegetarian, but Simon Community and Noel's Kitchen will take meat. So they take it frozen and then they defrost it, and they then cook it when they need it.
Hi, we're Food Cycle, a charity based in Brick Lane, East London. We reclaim surplus food from supermarkets and we cook it into tasty meals for the local community.
I live on my own, and there will be many people like me living on their own, who haven't got regular meals. You can eat fish and chips anywhere, but what I eat, I've been eating here, I've been eating varied food here, and I think it's good for health.
And the next logical step would be to have a chef here.
Now, one of the many things that sets this store apart is its hot food stall. The difference here is that unlike a lot of hot delis, you get an awful lot more than just roasted chicken. And next to me is Bob. You are the in-store chef, is that right? Now, what is the ethos behind this hot food stall?
Well, the idea is that all of the produce that's about to go out of date and be thrown away, they put in the back in trolleys, and I go and fish around in it.
And what Bob does effectively is he goes around and starts to look for product that is in danger of going out of date.
And it's cooked on the day, sold on the day, so it's all perfectly good stuff.
So, on an average week, what sort of dishes could we expect to see here?
We'd have things like vegetarian chilies, different curries. Here we've got roast aubergines.
And there's nothing wrong with those, they look amazing.
No, they're perfect, slightly wrinkly.
So what's the most inventive that you've actually been? Because someone actually told me that you've used chocolate before, even.
We have a whole basket, a whole trolley full of chocolate turned up. Probably 200 pounds worth that was just on the day, out of date. So we had to find something to do with it. So we melted it all down, got a load of biscuits, so again a slightly out-of-date cornflakes, and made it into old school Tiffany cakes.
The idea is we do a gradual, we take 25% off, then we take a bit more off. So basically the aim is to sell it. And even if you sell it for a relatively small amount of money, it's better to sell it than it is to throw it out.
Now the good work doesn't stop in store. Up here on the roof is where another initiative is taking place, and it's a supermarket rooftop garden. And Azul, you are the lady behind this whole project, so can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. It's called Food from the Sky, and we are on the rooftop of Budgens. I had a coffee with Andrew, who owns Budgens, and it all started from there. And now we grow food. Every Friday we harvest and take it down to the supermarket 10 meters below. So it's the most local food you can get. Some of the produce waste in the supermarket we share. Half goes to Food Cycle, and the one that is absolutely not possible to make any food with, we take it up and compost it.
Brilliant.
So all the waste is used and transformed, either in beautiful meals or here in that compost that we put back into our growing pots. Then the food goes back into supermarkets, completely full cycle.
The feedback on Food from the Sky is amazing. The feedback from Bob, the chef, is amazing. Those who know about Food Cycle and Simon Community, incredibly positive. We need to, I'd say most people aren't aware as I'd like them to be of what we're doing. When I went to feed the 5,000 at Trafalgar Square, it just reinforced the ridiculousness when I saw that huge pile of beautiful carrots which were dumped by supermarkets. And I'm working on something which probably best not to talk about now, to do something about that. So watch this space. They taste fantastic. They're great. And I mean, this is nice. But even some of these, they're a little bit imperfect, but they still taste fine. Yeah. So it's this obsession we've become about colour and beauty and so on. The most beautiful tasting fruit and vegetables usually aren't the prettiest ones.
Well, I'm seriously impressed with what this store's done. And what they've proven is that by implementing a few simple and practical strategies, reducing food wastage in retail really is a viable achievement.
iStock Audio.